America, welcome to Third Eye Knowledge. I wanted to come on here tonight to remind America, change is good. Leadership that is misconstruing information, reporting scattered information, and inaccurate and untrue information isn't. What I said about my leader in my last video, the President of the United States and his government and his officials and the coronavirus task force, I said all those negative things because the roles that they're playing is what they're giving us. I encourage America on my videos to give props to your community members and respect to your governors and reminding you to report information to your local leaders if you know that it's being reported in Washington and it's not true. I've given Fox information on Massachusetts, and I'm going to give the rest of the fucking country and the world. The video Bernie Sanders released today on YouTube is true. Our cities, towns, economy, health, necessities, food, law enforcement, and the fire department is running out of money. And we're running out of servicemen and women. If you expect our law enforcement in New Bedford, America, to work 40 to 60 hours a week and get paid for 20, you're retarded. I'm sure some of your states in this country have seen what we used to call street gangs back in full force again. Give them respect. If they're giving respect, looking out for the community, defending our elderly and our women and our children, our families and our country, give them respect. It's what we did in homeless shelters. We looked out for our elderly, veterans, or whomever was trying to make a difference in their life and defended our fellow brothers and sisters at all fucking costs. That's America. What our federal government is doing is telling us one thing, and we're seeing another, correct? Then we see for ourselves that we do for ourselves. Encourage our governors to unite again, 5, 6 states a person. Appoint them leaders, organizers, speakers. Anybody who's very financially well off in our neighborhoods and cities and towns and states in this country. Give what you have. We need help, America. We need to support each other. People like me have been saying for years that the objectives that the government has had has always been other intentions and instinctives. Their instincts are to succeed at all costs, dominate at all costs, and oppress at all costs to maintain power. Because eventually in their positions, ego takes over. Capitalism becomes their conscious eye. Greed. And what you're expecting your leaders to do, they're not going to do. It's about numbers in Washington. And that's that. Deborah Birx and Dr. Fauci damn will agree with that. They want so much to take that microphone from Donald Trump and ram it in his fucking rectum and tell him to get the hell out. Because he's not a leader. He's a businessman. And a very good deal maker at that. Which I'm not knocking him for, America. I'm not knocking him as a person. I'm calling him out as a failure leader. A failed leader. In times of crisis, America, he needs to call his presidents that were in that office before, ex-presidents, and say, yo, I'm running out of ideas. I'm running out of patience. I need your help. Because a true leader admits when he's weak. He or she is weak. A true leader admits when they're struggling. And calls on their people. Calls on their teammates, their comrades, as well as the military. No different. And say, yo, what do I do, America? That's what needs to be done in Washington right now. But Trump is not like that. If any of you have been done sales in your life or have had very powerful business connections or have had very big businesses, no. The head honcho don't break for nothing. Those numbers are the order of the day, and that's that. We're running out of law enforcement officers. And that's that. We're running out of EMTs. We're running out of firefighters. because they're overworked and underpaid to a point where they're not even getting paid. That's just the first half of it. That's the beginning of what's called apocalyptic proportions. Then you start to see hundreds and thousands of firefighters, policemen, army reservemen. Eventually, the military isn't going to get paid. Come on now. The generals will and the commanding officers will, but if you think those privates in the military are going to get paid, eventually they're going to run out of money. Because the federal government isn't going to give up their lavish lifestyles in America. We need to remember this. You're talking about the most powerful organization in this country and possibly the world. United States government. Telling our allies to go fuck themselves with 3M. America, we know this. 3M has been making masks for not only America and other supplies for medical purposes for years now. And they have foreign accounts that they are not going to break at any cost, because they break those foreign accounts, America, they're going to go broke, and then we're going to run out of a very, very prominent company that makes these masks. So your leader putting that Declaration Act in is fucking stupid. The Declaration of Defense Act, it's fucking stupid. It's dumb. He's only half-assing it anyway, America. Look at it. We need to come together in this country. And we need to come together in our communities. Get hip to the game, America. This is capitalism at its fucking finest. Things that we've been saying for years in the conscious community. The day this man was elected, it was coming. Be surprised what homeless individuals whom build their lives and study and educate themselves to better their lives see before you mainstream Americans with your happy jobs and your happy lives. I'll give it to you, America. I fucking hated everyone. I hated everyone when I was homeless. Anyone with a job, anyone with a life, anyone with food. Because I just assumed take it from you. But I changed. Donated my time to my community. I was living in Boston at the time. Changed my attitude, ran my crew to do better. Got a lot of things done. And got a lot of people help. That is leadership. One of your homeboys is struggling one week, decides to go off on another crew, or maybe a stranger who, backed the wrong way at one of your people. Pull them aside. What's wrong? Yo, I'm struggling. How much you need? What you need? You need to eat. You need to go to the hospital. You need this. You need that. That's a fucking leader. Calling out when someone needs to be called out to bring them back down, bring them back to the center. That's a fucking leader. Telling every 770 million Americans whom are struggling, oh, it's great, it's right, it's fucking great, it's fantastic, there's going to be a lot of death. That's a fucking nutcase. Sorry. Hey, just to let you know, we'll be alright. We're going to lose over 100,000 people. No. That's just fucking nuts. And that he may have a mental illness, honestly. Or maybe some kind of a issue within his anxiety and stress, America. We need to remember this also before we go bashing this gentleman again. That kind of stress on anybody will kind of turn certain things off in the conscious, the physical conscious. And he will exhibit like he's, not meaning to seem like he's happy about it, because I don't think he is. I don't think anybody would be. But again, this is a leader that is mentally unstable. Got to remember that. You can see it. You can see the way he looks in his face. You can see the way he carries himself on stage. That is why I'm saying I don't knock this motherfucker as a human being. I don't know him outside of the Oval Office. Again, none of us do. He's inaccessible. He's the president. But again, that would be a humble leader, to either call out on other previous leaders, to lead his people by any cost, by any means necessary, to admit when he's weak, to admit when he has too much on his plate, to admit whatever. That is what we need right now. And are you going to get it with Jonathan Trump? I doubt that very highly. I'm 28 years old in America. I remember this man in magazines. I remember, the whole stupid fucking TV show he had. But prior to that, I studied business for a while in America. I read every book there was to know on this man. I don't think I said this in any of my videos. I studied him when he became president. I read everything I could about this man. I watched anything I could about this man and called anybody I could to get information on this man for being a civilian in America. He is not a fucking elected leader. That's why, America, I came on here with my last video stating that he was a murderer and a fucking two-faced moron, because he is. Because that's what the business world does to you. You become a con man. You become two-faced. You become able to sell a dead body as a living being. Because you have that kind of salesmanship too. That's the example I can give, the best example I can give America. He could sell a pile of dog shit on the ground and tell you it's 24 karat gold, and you'll believe it because that's how well of a salesman this motherfucker was at making deals. Still the top dog at making deals. Still the top dog at selling America like a fucking $1 million business plan, but it's a fucking disaster. America, we need to wake up. Take this video for what it's worth. Even if you don't agree with it, share it with a loved one that may believe the same thing, and they're right. And if you don't believe I'm right, you'll come to the light. It's called higher consciousness. We're in the middle of a conscious revolution as well. A conscious revolution in medical science and a conscious revolution in government. The old way don't work anymore. The old way don't work anymore, America. It doesn't. And we'll come to terms with that. I wish everybody a good evening. To end the video, I give my respects to we all know the woman that lost her husband, and I wanted to give my respects to her and the children. That's a very hard thing to go through. And any other family that's watching this, I give my utmost respect and my condolences. Again, America, we need to seriously consider backing our governors and start spreading this video so we can get some ideas going. And I advise America to do the same. Take 5 minutes of your time. Give out ideas. Put it out there into the universe. Somebody will hear it. Because the unseen forces are at work here. And they're in our favor, believe it or not. Peace and love.